Hey everybody!
Hello,
everybody!
Yo.
It's Saturday, 6 p.m. You know what that means. Let's go around and introduce ourselves.
Hello, I'm Amy Lynn Perea.
Hi, I'm Kayla Marie Coates.
I'm Nick.
I'm Sophie.
I'm Xavier.
And together we are
The
Intoxicated
Readers.
Readers. Plus a wonderful guest, Kayla. Thanks for being on the show tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're very excited to see your script. Tonight's prompt was a doozy. The prompt was the story of how you died. So 2 parts to that. First of all, just fair warning, there's going to be a lot of conversation about death tonight. So keep that in mind. And also, we took that prompt and, swished it around in our brain fluids and wrote pieces with that prompt in mind, which we're going to be presenting to you via the form of dramatic reading today, right now, on stream. As for the Intoxicated Readers, we have drinking rules if you want to drink along. We've got 3 drinking rules. The first one, as always, is anytime we break character or mess up a line, take a drink. Hey, James in the chat. Ooh, new person. Yeah. Kayla, you've been talking in the chat with James over the past few weeks. You want to say hello?
Yeah, what's up? Yo, James.
Yeah. Drinking rule number 2 is anytime the Lord of the Drinks shows their drink. Is anybody drinking alcohol right now? Does anybody have alcohol on hand?
And alcohol on
And
hand.
alcohol on hand. All right, Kayla, you're the
And
Lord
alcohol.
you're the Lord of the Drinks tonight. Anytime your drink appears,
No.
people take a drink. The third rule, which is unique to this week. Who wants to go over it?
Anytime death is foreshadowed or described.
Take a drink. All right. We're leading up to death by drinking. I'm just kidding. Know your limits, stay within it. We encourage safe drinking. Fun time. Without further ado, are we all ready?
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Alrighty, tidy. Up first is my piece. This piece is called DMV. The cast is as follows. I'm going to be reading stage directions. Sophie, you're going to be the DMV worker. Xavier, you're going to be Chris. And Kayla, you're going to be River. All right?
Nope.
All right. We all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Interior DMV day. Chris stands at the front of the line.
Next.
Chris stands there, eyes glazed over. The look of somebody who has been in line at the DMV for too long.
Next.
Oh, that's me. Sorry, I was zoning out.
Name.
Chris Lero. I think.
Oh. Chris, here it is.
Great. I'm ready to get out of here.
Sure, Chris. It looks like you're scheduled for a meeting with our professional.
Oh. Is that bad? Wait. What is that bad?
Take this folder and follow the hall. Second door on the left.
Okay.
Next.
Chris takes the folder and stumbles as the next person in line shoves him out of the way.
Jeez. Everyone's so angry at the DMV.
Chris walks down the hallway.
The DMV. I don't have a car.
Chris finds the second door on the left. A plate on the door reads, River E. Apair, Assessment Reaper.
Assessment Reaper?
The door swings open. A deep voice hovers in the air.
Christopher Lero. Come in.
Interior office day. Chris enters and sits in an open chair. The room is a simple office. 2 chairs, a filing cabinet, and a desk, adorned with statuettes of small barnyard animals. Sitting across from Chris is River, dressed in a velvet black suit black shirt, and black tie.
Is that for me?
River opens her hand for the folder.
Yeah. Here. Could you mind tell me why I'm here?
You don't know?
River flips through the pages in the folder at a speed that drops Chris's jaw.
Ah, I see. I've read your file. It seems you're a special case.
What kind of special case?
Chris, you're dead.
What?
You heard me. You're dead. Some Reapers don't like to be so blunt, but I believe in ripping off the Band-Aid. So, bing, boom, bop. You're dead.
I'm not dead.
No, brother.
I'm right here. I'm breathing. I can feel my skin, the air. I'm not dead.
All right. So much for a quickie. All right, let's go.
Where are we going?
To your deathbed.
River snaps her fingers. The far wall of her office begins to shimmer, then tears open, exposing a large red and black striped tunnel. River steps in.
What the fuck?
Chip chop, I ain't got all day.
Chris follows River into the tunnel. Interior of the tunnel between dimensions. Day.
So, do you want to know how it happened, or do you just...
What happened?
Your death, Chris.
I'm telling you, I'm not dead.
Well, how did you get here then,
I was just standing in the DMV.
Does every human think it's the DMV?
Huh?
Chris, you don't remember anything.
No.
All right, I see. This is a special case.
What does that mean?
We're here.
River approaches a dark wall in front of her, capping off the tunnel. She snaps, and the wall shimmers and tears open. Chris steps through and finds himself in a hospital room. His wife sits by the hospital bed, along with his son. His mother sits on the other side of the bed. Chris tries to look at the bed, but every time his eyes pass over it, his vision becomes blurry. He can't focus his eyes on the person lying down.
We've found that allowing the dead to see themselves alive can be hard. So, we don't allow it anymore. It becomes a blind spot of sorts.
Olivia! Sam! Is that you? Why? Why are you so much older? Why are you crying?
They can't hear you.
Mom! Where's Dad? Why is everyone here?
Chris,
What is going on? What kind of sick joke is this?
you know it's not a joke.
Chris looks at his family in the room. Tears swell in his eyes, and he falls backwards into the corner of the room, holding himself.
It's not true. It can't be. I was just with Sam at his baseball game. Olivia and I were baking cookies.
Think about it, Chris. What do you remember?
I can't remember. What happened?
Chris's eyes spot the folder in River's hands. He jumps forward and snatches it from the Reaper.
Chris, that's a bad idea.
Chris slowly backs away.
Christopher Lyrrell, by order of the Between Dimension, put down that folder. There's information the dead should not be made aware of.
River's shadow fills the room, encompassing the swinging fluorescent light above the bed. Chris's family does not notice. Chris wipes tears from his eyes and backs away slowly until he feels the hospital door behind him. His hand finds the handle, and he sprints out of the room.
Chris.
Interior hospital day. Chris sprints through the hospital. He turns the corner and braces himself as he realizes he is about to collide with a doctor. Then he passes through the doctor effortlessly.
No.
Chris continues to run. He turns corners and serpentines through the building as he hears River's calls behind him. He turns another corner, breathing heavy. He looks around. He finds a janitor's closet and steps in stealthily. Interior janitor's closet, day. Chris hides in the janitor's closet. A lone light bulb hanging on a wire light lights the room. He hunkers down in a corner and opens the folder. The first page reveals a picture of Chris, which his eyes still cannot focus on. A blurry semblance of a man looks back at him, as if looking at a fogged mirror. He thumbs through the pages.
Wife, Olivia, Son, Sam. Hospital. Declining health. Wait. No. That's impossible.
In an instant, Chris is falling through the red and black tunnel. Above him, he sees the janitor closet disappearing in the distance as he falls. Interior office day. The ceiling of the office is open to a large red and black tunnel. Chris screams are hollow as he falls and lands back in his chair across from River. River, with a scowl on her face, takes the folder from Chris's hand.
Enough road trips for the day.
Chris stares emptily.
I told you. There is information the dead that should not know.
Chris doesn't answer. River's face becomes lighter.
How far did you read?
Son. 18 years old.
At the time of your death, yes.
He's 8. 8! Sam is 8! I swear I just tucked him into bed.
Ah, so you didn't get all the way.
What does it mean?
Chris. You had an acute form of degenerative brain disease, unknown and not treatable by doctors of your time period. In fact, we here in the between realm don't even know where it came from. It isn't natural.
What?
The last 10 years of your life, you lived in between memories, rarely finding your way back to the present time. You passed in the year 2052 with your mother, your wife, and your son by your side.
I can't remember.
You will. That's why I'm here. Now that you have passed, your soul has full consciousness. I've been assigned to your case to help you remember the final 10 years of your life.
My life?
I understand it's all a bit much. You'll have all the time you need to acclimate, but we will need you to revisit those years, you and I.
Why? I'm dead. It's over, right? What use is there going back and seeing myself not recognizing my own wife, my own son?
That is a conversation for another day.
No, I'm done with secrets.
Christopher, that is enough for now. A human soul is a fragile thing, especially a newly passed over one. I'll tell you all you need to know in time.
Chris glares at River, who returns the glare with her deep blue eyes. The two sit in this locked stare for a long moment. Then,
Nice.
That was good.
Damn.
yeah, it's just like the beginning of a story that I think I might be writing.
It's a cross between The Good Place and also that one DMV script that Amy Lynn wrote about the hentai artists, right? We know, or was it about someone? That's my mind immediately went to that.
Yes, it was similar, and I think that Limbo is DMV. I totally
You're-
think that everyone sees the DMV as Limbo. That's like the weird part of the world that you go to, and you're just like, man, I'd be so happy to die right now. At the DMV.
That's very true.
But also, it was Among Us fan service.
That-
Yes.
Your script
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Mm.
James, whenever anyone references an Intoxicated reading script, I just assume it involves hentai.
one time. It was one time. They were mostly Christians, by the way.
What?
Weren't they? I don't know. I felt like he always had like crazy
Oh.
sexual scripts.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But no, I really like that, Nick. That was very depressing.
Mm.
But that means it was effective. I think.
Yeah, don't worry, it gets better later in the story. I have it all up here.
We love a good hit cannon.
yeah. Well, thank you guys for that read.
Yeah, that was good.
I can't believe you said this was trash earlier.
Right?
You said it was trash?
Yeah,
You did.
I think it's kind of expositional trash, especially the end. Like
You're
I had,
explaining you're hinting at the world. Your world building.
But it was just like a lot of just like boom ba boom, or boom boom
But
bam boom bam.
Sometimes a story needs that. It's like without that, it wouldn't have brought us into the end, where we're like, we need more. So
Yeah.
Mm. All right. Thank you guys for
Welcome.
thank you guys for that. Just building me up and everything. All right, y'all. Up next, we got Xavier's piece.
Heck yeah.
alrighty.
Brad.
Hopefully mine isn't depressing. But this is called Endless Atlas Paradox Death. Characters are I just needed a name. Zoro, is played by me. Vesta, Sophie. Ern is Nick. Umbrella is Kayla, and narrator is Amy Lynn. You guys got some notes? Play with it, have fun, and Amy Lynn, whenever you're ready.
We see flashes of blood splatter, blood running along the baseline of the floor, then another flash. Sound of a cart moving at great pace, people's dampened voices, sounds of muffled breath, slowing sound of beeping. Beep, beep. This continues as life drains with each beep. Beep, beep. Again. Beep, beep. Again. Beep, beep. Until finally the beeping flatlines.
But this is not where it started, and perhaps not where it ends. I am Vesta, your guide. Let's start at the beginning.
Cut 2. Exterior city underground night. A woman with blue eyes that seem electrifying in black dress walks to the top of the building. Floating cars zooming overhead. Above the stream of cars is what looks like a destroyed moon.
Time is in constant flux and on linear planes. There are points where planes of time cross each other. Now it shall begin.
Vesta looks down. Below is an old, run-down building lurching outside of the hill. Lights are on. Cut 2. Interior building night. There are 2 people standing over someone sitting in a chair. There's a pool of blood at the person's feet.
Where's the money, Zoro?
What are you talking about, Ern?
Ern hits him in the face.
Please, just tell him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Umbrella saw you take the money. If I don't have it back, listen, we all make mistakes under stress. If you give back the money, nothing will happen. Not even the higher-ups will hear about it.
Phone in the hall begins to ring. Ern goes to answer it.
Tell him someone else did it.
What? Bretta, no. You took it.
Be quiet.
Why? That is a death wish.
I have my reason.
Reason enough to get me killed?
Just say it was someone else.
Ern hangs up the phone and walks back in.
Who is that?
The boss. He wants the money for the drop tonight.
What are we gonna do?
I'm gonna make another call.
Ern looks over his shoulder to Zoro. He walks off into the hall.
I can't believe this. Handing me off to rid himself of the responsibility.
Umbrella walks around the room. She seems worried about this outcome. She walks over to Zoro, pulls out a handkerchief, and wipes his bloody face.
Zoe, just tell him what he wants. Even if it's not the truth. Save everyone the trouble.
I can't do that. Even if I tell him it's you, it's no use. Or blame someone else who's innocent and more likely to die.
Don't be stubborn, not now.
Tell me, what did you take it for?
Revenge for...
You dug my grave and yours.
Cut 2. Interior building, hall, night. Ern is in deep conversation on the phone. There's a coldness to his eyes.
I understand. If that is what it takes to prove it's you, it shall be done.
Ern hangs up and walks to the door. He releases a sigh of relief. Cut 2. Interior building, night. As Ern walks back into the room, Umbrella and Zoro are in deep conversation.
Even though Ern has changed, we're still friends. We came into this together. We're a family. Nothing's gonna happen.
Ern walks up as Umbrella is about to finish her sentence. Ern shoots Zoro with a pulse gun. Zoro takes the initial hit. He looks down at his bleeding chest. Then Zoro looks up at Ern as the chair he sat in falls back. He hits the floor. The chair breaks and blood spews from his mouth and gushes from his back. Cut to exterior city underground, night. Vesta cries tears of blood.
Time and time again, I visit death, not knowing what life is. Life and death, an endless cycle. Heaven's gate has not opened to me, nor has hell's fires swallowed me whole. I shall not know peace.
Cut to interior building, night. Umbrella rushes to Zoro's corpse and tries to help, not knowing what to do. Ern looks over the dead body with hatred in his eyes.
I thought this new gun would be more destructive. Still left this body.
What? He was our friend and you shot him.
Bretta, he was your friend. We were all recruited. I just worked with him.
You bastard. How could you? Are you gonna kill me then too?
No. He was your friend and you're mine. I did what had to be done.
No. Then kill me too, because I took the money.
I know.
Umbrella is silent. She lightly puts down Zoro's body on the floor. She walks over to Ern and punches Ern in the face. Ern hits the window and it shatters.
I don't want to fight you.
You knew and let him die for it.
Umbrella throws another punch. She lands again. She knocks the gun out of his hand. Umbrella throws a right hook. Ern blocks, but it is hit with an uppercut.
Stop this. It was the code.
What was the code? Why didn't you kill me?
Because I can't. I just can't, okay?
Umbrella looks Ern in the eyes, and she knows why he can't. But Ern looks Umbrella in her eyes and sees disappointment. Ern wraps up his arm with torn pieces of cloth. Two men run in.
Take her to the car. Don't worry about the body. We'll leave it here.
The two men rush over to Umbrella. She struggles to get free. They take her out of the room.
I'm sorry, Zoe. I'll fix it. I swear. There are already too many graves.
Umbrella is pulled out. Ern looks around the room, slowly walking around. Ern reaches a window and sees Umbrella getting pulled into a car. The car drives off. Ern walks over to Zoro.
Honestly, I never liked you. Always looking at the horizon. Always looking down on me. Umbrella likes to dream of something better, and I will give it to her. Someday she'll forgive me. I know what she wants to do, and I can't allow that to happen. But I have different ways to go about it. Goodbye to your morals and your code of dignity.
A teardrop falls at Ern's feet. Ern, surprised, rubs his eyes. Ern gets up and picks up the gun.
Didn't work like I wanted it to. I'll leave it here with you.
Ern tosses the gun on Zoro. As Ern leaves, Zoro looks at his feet and walks away. As he walks away, a pool of blood follows Zoro's... A pool of blood follows. Zoro's brown eyes dilate. A blue gleam of light is shown. He's gone. Cut to interior car, night. Umbrella sits in the back of the car with a man on her side.
Where are you taking me?
There's no answer. They sit in silence as they head down an empty road.
Well, anyone know why I like chocolate Rice Krispies? Because they...
Umbrella lunges at the man to her left. She punches him and knocks him into the door. She quickly goes for the driver, quickly dispatching him with a snap of the neck. The car veers off on the road. The man to her left grabs her. He tries to restrain her. She knees him in the chin, cracking his jaw. She opens the door behind her. The man lunges at her. Using his waist, she throws him out. As she sits up and goes to the front seat to grab the steering wheel, the man grabs her. He's holding onto the door handle. She turns and kicks his shoulder where he's holding the handle. A pop is heard, and he loses his grip and hits the fast-moving concrete face first. The car hits a ditch and flips, rolling down the street. The car comes to a stop. Umbrella, battered, bloody and bruised, climbs out of the driver window. She limps off. Her phone rings.
What? No, this stops nothing. You got your payment. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I will have my revenge. Do me a favor.
Bretta walks off into the night. Cut to interior skyscraper night. This is a luxurious place filled with gold lining and marble decor. Ern sits in an all-white lounge chair with a glass of gin. He answers his phone.
You lost her? Fuck! I don't care what happened. Find her. I have a meeting to attend. No matter how long it takes, you will find Umbretta.
The door is opened behind Ern. He fixes his suit and covers a little dot of blood on his tie. Cut to exterior hill, night. Vesta stands on the edge of the building as another in a black hood approaches. Vesta stands there with her arms out as rain begins to fall.
Isn't it lovely? The destruction that one night will cause.
Vesta, it's time.
Sorry, lost myself in time.
Where were you?
Where it all began. Here. 5 years ago.
3 paths emerging?
No, just one. Emerging into one.
Fine with me. To know time, you must be reborn.
Correct.
Time and time again, I visit death not knowing what life is. Life and death, an endless cycle. Heaven's gate has not opened to me, nor has hell's fire swallowed me whole. I shall not know peace, nor shall they. Life, death, meaningless. But the path, yes. The path was ever true. Let us begin again.
I heard you say that when you died.
Person pulls back their hood. Zorro, with a menacing smile as he sits down on the edge of the building. Zorro's left eye has become amber-colored with 5 blue lines leading into the iris.
Who says I ever died to begin with?
Damn!
Plot twist!
Sharp piano chords at the end right there.
Thank you. Thank you for the good read.
That was dope.
So cool.
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't know where it was going to take me. I was like, at the beginning just happened. I was like, blood, something, and then it just...
Nice.
That was really good.
Thank you.
I liked that. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I started off thinking Vesta was kind of like she was detached from the story and she was like a narrator, but nah, she's in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what the thing. She's aloof because she is kind of detached, but it's because she sees a lot of timelines.
Mm-hmm.
It's constantly in flux with things.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like the Dr. Manhattan thing, like living in different times.
Ooh, yes, I
Yeah.
totally get that vibe.
Yeah.
Very cool. Man.
I feel like we're witnessing. 'Cause I feel like we're witnessing your style like evolve very naturally into or branching out very naturally into other genres, and I think it's like the coolest thing to watch it happen. I love it.
Appreciate.
Really dope.
I dig that.
So X, you're gonna take over for Watchmen, right? And right.
Please, please.
Please.
We need
Hey,
more.
if the
That'd be
one
so cool.
writers in the room, sure, but yeah, I don't think I'm on that level yet.
All that what?
That level yet.
I've never seen Watchmen, so I can't speak for it.
I just want to be in the room where it happens.
No.
Okay.
You singing a Hamilton song?
Right, that's hilarious.
Just one line, guys.
Cannot believe you.
What?
Kai would be losing his mind right now.
Well, Kai's asleep, so he doesn't get to argue.
Kai's not here.
Just
I'm gonna tell Kai.
for the record, Kai isn't here because he's sleeping. Chat, you got him.
Well, also, like, he's been to these when it's like 8 o'clock over there.
Yeah,
8
yeah.
a.m. So
It is also early morning over there, so we don't hold it against him. We just miss him.
a lot.
Hold on. When did I need to? 419. That was like,
Day before 420.
no, the time was 419.
Oh.
That must have been like what? Yeah, like 6 a.m. He went to bed at like 6 or 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Malaysia?
What, y'all don't do that?
Damn,
No,
not in a minute.
I try not to.
Damn.
James,
I mean,
there's no way I killed Kai. He's across the world. How would I do that?
I don't underestimate your powers, Nick.
Fun fact I heard at work the other day is that the majority of like very well-known serial killers are Pisces, Virgo, and Sagittarius. Those are like the three.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So watch
I
out,
could
y'all.
see it.
It's Virgo season.
Oh,
Yo.
sorry.
X, that was an awesome piece.
Thank you.
That was really good, yeah.
Up next, we have Sophie.
Okay. This piece is called Icaria.
You tell
I will be-
us.
Icaria. It's
Jeez.
Icaria. I will be playing Mariah. Amy Lynn will be playing Jocelyn. Xavier will be playing Kenjo. Kayla will be playing Ayaka. Nick will be playing Beast. Kayla will be playing Furna. And I will also read stage directions. Okay, y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Interior, bedroom, night. A mother, Jocelyn, 36, sits on the side of her daughter's bed, Mariah, 6, and tucks her into bed, giving her a kiss on the forehead. Please, can you tell me a story, please?
Honey, I already told you 2 stories. You need help, or you need to sleep.
But I don't want to yet.
So sorry. It doesn't
But I
matter.
don't want to yet.
It doesn't matter. You're cranky and you have school tomorrow.
But I'm almost sleepy.
What does that mean?
It means I'm not sleepy, but I'm getting sleepy, so if I get one more story, I'll definitely be sleepy. Jocelyn rolls her eyes but relents, letting out a big sigh.
Fine.
Yay!
But this one isn't so nice, Mariah. Are you sure you want to hear it?
I'm sure.
Okay. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Cut to exterior, garden, day. 2 young kids run around gleefully in a field. A young girl, Ayaka, 12, chases her brother, Kenjo, 15. They are screaming and cackling. Ayaka never quite being able to catch up to her big brother.
Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Kenjo, and he had a little sister who he loved very much. Kenjo and Ayaka made the perfect team. Every day she would fly through the skies, seeking out rivers and shelter and spotting danger from afar.
Ayaka gets frustrated with her slowness and finally spreads her wings and tackles her brother, putting an end to the game and yelling victoriously.
Kenjo, on the other hand, would gather the treasure that his sister found and secure them safely in a chest box. Every night, they'd make a small fire to cook their food and keep themselves warm. And often, they'd draw and write stories in the firelight, the mysterious glow of the moon inspiring them.
Cut to exterior, campfire, night. Kenjo and Ayaka are sitting by a campfire, sitting on their chest of treasures.
Ayaka, you should keep this.
He hands her a necklace with a tiny golden key attached to it.
But I could lose it.
Then don't.
But what if I do? Then all of our treasure will be lost forever.
Listen, Aya. If we're ever in danger, you have to fly away to safety. Even if it means leaving me behind, you have to protect yourself.
But I don't...
If worse comes to worse, you have to protect yourself. And as long as you wear this necklace, always, our treasures will be protected too.
You're scaring me. Why do you always have to talk about the worst thing that could happen?
I'm sorry, but it's something we have to prepare for. Please promise me you'll keep yourself safe, no matter what.
I promise.
The kids link pinky fingers in agreement, and Ayaka puts the key necklace on. Cut to exterior, forest, dusk. Kenjo is running around frantically, yelling his sister's name.
Despite their promise to each other, one day Ayaka disappeared. Kenjo wasn't worried at first, but she sometimes liked to go off flying by herself, and nothing could catch her in the sky. But when it started getting dark and she still hadn't returned, Kenjo started to panic. She was never gone this long.
What? Where did she go?
I don't know, Mariah, but keep listening and we might find out.
Fine.
Kenjo ran around the forest, scouring every inch of it for any sign of his sister. But soon the chest, brimming with treasure and wonder, was too heavy for him to carry and he had to stop and rest.
Kenjo lays on the forest floor, wrapped around the wooden chest.
The next morning, Ayaka still hadn't returned. Kenjo could barely stand up, for he did not know where his sister had gone or what had happened to her.
We see the sun set and rise several times around Kenjo while he stays immobile on the ground, staring straight ahead of him with lifeless eyes. Then finally, he sits up.
Finally, on the third day after Ayaka's disappearance, Kenjo finally stood up and kept moving. He had run out of water, and he had made up his mind to stay alive. His sister might still be out there somewhere, lost and searching for him.
Cut to exterior, stream, day. Kenjo is knee-deep in the stream, bathing and washing his clothes.
He found a stream by the edge of the forest and replenished his supply. But once he exited the forest, he came face to face with a steep edge of a tall mountain.
Cut to exterior, mountain, day. Kenjo looks up. The edge of the mountain seemingly goes straight up, and the top of it is indiscernible. It looks as if it disappears into the clouds. Kenjo looks to the side and sees a stepping stone, the first of many that wrap around the outside of the mountain in an endless spiral. Is that where Ayaka went?
That's exactly what Kenjo thought to himself. So what do you think he did, Mariah?
He climbed!
Exactly. He climbed and climbed and climbed. It was not easy to climb such a steep mountain with heavy wooden chest on his back, but because Ayaka had the key, he couldn't even open it to take out some of the heavy treasures. Kenjo's determination kept him climbing for miles and miles until he could look down on the world like a bird. He thought to himself,
I must be close to Ayaka.
Kenjo looks back down to the precarious stepping stones, lifting his feet and stepping on them gingerly one by one. Then he bumps into something, or rather, someone. He yells and almost falls off the stepping stones to his death, but the thing that he ran into grabs his arm and keeps him steady. Kenjo sighs and looks up. Before him stands an 8-foot-tall, masked man with blue skin and red eyes. Kenjo screams. There is steam rising from his skin.
Please don't hurt me! I come in peace. Please, please. I only climbed to find my sister.
When the beast speaks, it sounds like the deep rumbling of a forgotten instrument, but the very mountain seems to shake with the reverberation of it.
Voyagers who go past this point will not turn back. Turn away now and save yourself.
I can't.
The beast does not respond and stands incredibly still, as if he's made of stone. Kenjo stares at him for several long moments, expecting him to say something else.
Hello?
Silence.
Hello?
Kenjo walks right up to the wall-like man that obstructs his only path up. He tries pushing on his chest to move him. No luck. After several excruciating efforts to move the beast, Kenjo sits down on the step below him and glares up at him. The sun sets and rises again, and neither of them budge. Finally, Kenjo stands back up and brushes himself off.
Fine. That's it. You give me no choice. You can either help me, or I'm gonna have to find some way to keep going against your warning.
Kenjo takes in a deep breath, then approaches the beast again. Then he grasps its side and leverages himself around it, hanging precariously off the side of the mountain as he tries to get a foothold on the other side of the beast. Eventually, he makes it safely onto the other side of the beast. He brushes himself off, shaken and somewhat surprised that he made it to the other side. Kenjo turns back around with a triumphant grin on his face, only to find that the beast and all the stepping stones below him had disappeared. He's left reeling at the vastness below him with no way to get back down.
What?
Then the rumbling, echoing voice of the beast emanates from the core of the mountain.
You have made your choice. May your luck grace you on this day as it has never graced you before.
So Kenjo kept climbing, because what else could he do? But he was still hopeful, for surely the higher he got, the farther he could see, and maybe if he joined his sister in the sky, she'd see him and come to him. All this time she had surely been looking for him as well, and at one point, he even heard her voice.
Kenjo looks up from his spiraled path around the mountain. There are wisps of white clouds surrounding him now, and in front of him stands a woman, even taller than the beast was. Leaves and branches grow from her hair, bearing an assortment of colorful fruit. A tiny stream trickles from her hands. Her eyes are closed, and she is motionless. Kenjo almost collapses with relief and replenishes his water sack from the stream, picking fruit from the branches and shoving mouthfuls into his mouth.
Thank the heavens and the skies for this kindness. Oh, I owe you my life for the only reason I can continue my journey.
As Kenjo bites into an apple, the spirit's eyes open. Her voice rattles Kenjo.
Hello, traveler. My name is Ferna.
Hello?
Kenjo looks down at the fruit in his hands, which he had stolen from Ferna's branches, not knowing she was a conscious being.
I'm so sorry.
Do not worry. If the fruit was not eaten, it would only rot and fall for miles and miles. Thank you for not letting it go to waste.
No, thank you for sustaining me. I owe you my life.
I do not want your life.
How could I ever repay you?
What do you have in that treasure chest?
Nothing of real value, just memories and possessions of my sister. But I'm afraid I can't give you any of these things because I don't have the key.
Now that is a shame. Let me see.
Ferna's arms creak and groan as her wood-like limbs stretch out to grab the treasure chest wrapped to Kenjo's back. He tries to back up and avoid the grasping branches with no luck. Ferna easily plucks it from Kenjo and brings it up to her face to examine it. The branches growing from her head wrap around it and seem to weave themselves into the wood of the chest. Ferna's eyes glow, and so do all of her leaves.
Please, that's the only thing I have left of my sister. Don't destroy it. I'm begging you.
But Ferna does not respond. Instead, more branches grow from her, alarmingly fast, seeming like the core of an entire forest. The branches grow thicker and thicker, engulfing the chest until Kenjo can barely see it anymore. He starts yelling and trying to pry the branches off his chest.
Please, please give it back. I need this. This is the last thing I have.
I'm sorry for your sorrow. I'm sorry for your future.
The branches that keep Ferna attached to the mountain start unraveling, and she starts elevating into the air. Kenjo starts screaming, knowing that she's about to take the chest with her. Kenjo grabs onto one of the branches, not letting it go. As Ferna ascends, she takes Kenjo with her, dangling off one of her branches and grabbing onto her for dear life. They ascend and ascend until the air is too thin for any human being to breathe. The last moments of Kenjo's life are spent flying around the skies, finally seeing the world the way his sister did. The end.
Bro, what the fuck kind of bedtime story?
It makes sense why you said you need help.
You're gonna need help after this one, Mariah.
You need help.
I liked it.
I
Oh,
Thought it was
liked
cool.
Really, really good.
It
Thank
felt,
you for the read.
yeah, it felt like an epic poem kind of thing.
Yo, I found myself like kind of being inspired by The Green Knight.
Hey,
Even though I
Okay.
didn't like the movie.
After all the shit talking you did on the street.
Yeah.
All right.
Fake fan.
Yeah.
hey, inspiration is a wonderful thing to take out of art, even
is
if you
true.
don't like the art.
That is true.
Very
There's
true.
There's gonna be a third being that Kenjo encounters, and that's like where it was gonna end, but then it ran out of time. So yeah.
James said that's some twisted giving tree shit.
Ooh,
Right?
The taking tree.
That's
The
true.
life-taking tree.
Damn. Damn.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So
I don't
what-
know what kind of fucked up thought process led to this script, but I kind of like it.
Yeah. I think maybe like hold off on telling your kids this one at bedtime.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
At least until
If you love
they're
your
a bit
kids,
older.
How to
I'll tell them
parent?
the story.
Are you telling me how to parent my child?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, my parents told me twisted bedtime stories, like spooky stories, and look how I turned out. So
Oh yeah. Mm-mm.
be warned.
I mean, the moral of the story is you always need to carry an axe.
I'm glad that that's what you took away from it.
In my
Yeah.
head, see me as like an action person. I'm like, dang, out of all this trials, he didn't get a weapon.
Yeah.
Damn.
Johnny
Yeah.
Appleseed.
I'm dead.
Moral of the story: if
Real though.
your sister goes missing, like, sorry, she's gone.
Yeah.
Damn.
I feel bad for him. He was depressed, heavy.
Yeah.
Like he was sitting there, like I'm like 3 days. There, that's rough.
That's also a part that I took from that was inspired by Green Knight.
Mhm.
If you haven't watched it, spoiler alert. That's not a spoiler. You'll see it. Yeah, whatever.
His sister goes missing, and he's like, "I've got to lug this chest around with me everywhere, even though I
Well-
can't open it."
He can't
Imagine how
do
heavy that is.
Right?
Actually, I was thinking
Damn.
like he had to be strong to like just to be carrying this on his back. So I'm like,
Oh,
you don't have a
God.
weapon? Chop her down. Take the fruit. That's all you need. Live your life.
I also got some Demon Slayer vibes. I'm like, oh, his sister's gonna pop out of that chest, right?
Mm.
But she's
It's like,
dead.
Nezuko-chan. He just pops out.
Oh no.
I like
Oh,
how it's like an anti-fairy tale because
Mm.
I mean, obviously because like how it is, but it makes me think about all of the like parts of fairy tales where it's like, oh, you're traveling like up the haunted mountain. Many adventurers have perished on the way, and we're seeing like a story of somebody who's trying to fulfill that like story and fails.
I mean,
Yeah.
like
The rule,
Grimm.
not the exception.
Yeah.
Like Grimm's story, the originals are pretty dark.
Mhm.
Mhm. They're very dark.
Fucked up, dude.
They're real fucked up.
So if you want to tell your kids this, it makes sense because they did it back to that in their day to their kids. So it's like, don't go outside. There's witches. She'll feed you candy.
Yeah.
Like, so it makes sense, you know.
Probably
Parents, you know.
The booty, the candy man.
Oh my god.
That's a little different, a little urban. But yeah, it's a little.
All right.
Thank you.
Excellent piece, Sophie.
Thank you.
We've got one more piece tonight, y'all, from our one and only guest, Kayla.
Yo. Alrighty. The cast list. Well, I guess I should say the name of it. It's called No Parking Here. It is the first script that I've ever written, so please don't judge me. Okay, cast list is as follows. Kira / stage directions is myself. Ivy is Sophie. Levi is Xavier. Lex is Nick. Malia is Amy Lynn. And Elliot is also Nick. Ready, y'all? Exterior, Humboldt Redwood State Park. Seemingly the middle of nowhere. Summertime. Day. Camera pans up on a forest of trees for miles and miles with nothing else in sight but one road. There's a mysterious yet quaint feeling about this place. It feels full of life, yet totally isolated all at the same time. The kind of place with zero cell phone reception. You can spot a lonely blue Kia Niro driving up a singular road, several hands and arms hanging out of the car windows, feeling the fresh air of Humboldt County, moving, grooving, singing and partying to some stellar tunes that are pumping them up for this hopeful weekend of camping in the woods for Kira's birthday weekend extravaganza. Holy fuck, I can't believe we made it. Cut to the back of Kira's blue Kia Niro with a bumper sticker on the back that says, I hope something good happens to you today. Camera pans around the car to the passenger side. The car is filled to the brim with young adults, luggage, instruments, booze, camping gear, etc., all Tetrised in like a puzzle, cramped, and not even enough space to fill all these passengers and gear alike. Elliot, Kira's younger sibling, had to sit packed in the back the whole way there. They couldn't even get out to pee, or else all the luggage would fall and they wouldn't even be able to get back in their spot. Don't worry, they had a water bottle, well, a couple water bottles. They've all been driving for hours and hours. Everyone starts piling out of the car one by one and begins unpacking and setting up. Everyone is taking in the environment, all their senses being stimulated by the exterior that is Mother Nature. Chatter begins amongst themselves with specific lines being heard louder than most.
Damn, it's so beautiful out here. The air is so fresh. So much better than that polluted LA smog. I miss living up here.
Thank you for inviting me up here. This weekend's gonna be fun. I've been in need of an escape lately. I have a great feeling about this.
You and me both. Everything's become way too overwhelming at home. This is what she came out here to try to escape. All her fucked up thoughts, family drama, busy work life, and to try to gain some clarity. She changes the subject. Anyway, you excited for all the hiking ventures?
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely try to keep up, but you're a friend when it comes to hiking. You're a fiend when it comes to hiking.
That's fair. No pressure on joining. I know it's not necessarily your thing. This weekend is supposed to be about all of us having fun, doing our own thing, and taking some shroomy doomies. Hey, Lex, you brought the goods, yeah? Lex is shown, sitting in the back seat of the car, door open, legs hanging out of the side. They've already begun lighting up a blunt.
Come on, Kayla. Do you know me as well? Do you not know me well enough by now? I've always got the goods, especially when it comes to Monsieur Magic Mushrooms.
Yo, dude, I think you should probably watch lighting up like that out here. It's super dry and hot this time of year. That plus one fall of ember from... That is a recipe for disaster.
That's a fair point. As much as I love the ritual of smoking a blunt, maybe we should stick to bongs and pipes.
All right, sure. Works for me.
Lex puts the blunt and lighter in their pocket.
I don't know if I'm gonna do the whole shrooms thing, considering I already feel nauseous 24/7 with my chronic health problems. I heard that taking shrooms can really fuck with your stomach.
Really? I don't know if that's true. Where'd you hear that?
I read it online somewhere.
So you're just gonna believe whatever you read / hear online?
Of course not. But these are drugs, so I think I'll take my chances.
I'm down for the shroomy doomy, sister.
Okay, fine, but you can only microdose. I don't want you totally tripping balls and having to babysit you or go off and have to find you somewhere. Pulling back the sibling anger. I'm happy you're here, but that's just not how I want to spend my birthday weekend.
Fuck yeah, sweet. Thanks, Kay.
All right, y'all, let's finish setting up this shit so that we can get this party started. Everyone continues unloading the car, setting up the tents, kitchen area, cornhole, all the games and sports equipment, the drug and booze table galore, and the rest of the campsite. Cut to exterior, just about finished campsite, just before sunset. As the sun continues its downward descent, the group is just about finished setting up. Kira came prepared, as she always does, with an abundant amount of lanterns and lights to light up their whole campsite. She's currently putting the rest of these in their designated places.
Hey, Kay, I think I got a pretty deep splinter as I was moving around all the pine needles and sticks up to the tent. Any chance you got tweezers?
Don't worry, Al. I got you covered. You know I never leave home without thinking about all of the potential supplies that we'll need for any scenario. Kira makes her way over to the trunk of her car where the car's survival kit is placed. She grabs the whole thing and brings it over.
That's fair. You were the only one to have thought to bring a mini sewing kit on hand for opening night of Kinky Boots.
Yeah, Malia, I still don't understand how you ripped your pants down the middle that night 20 minutes before curtain call.
Yeah, pardon me for thinking I could go into the splits in skinny jeans, no problem.
Them three share a laugh. Kira opens up the emergency pack and finds the tweezers.
What's that, Kayla?
This is something that my dad gave me as part of my birthday gift one year. It's everything that you could pretty much need in an emergency.
Like those red backpacks that they have in school for fire drills and such?
Exactly. You know, Dad always taught us to be prepared and anticipate the unexpected. All right, now hold still. Kira digs the tweezers into Elliot's hand and gets the splinter out. Elliot holds back a grunt of pain. Kira looks up and notices the sun setting. Oh, damn. Kira is struck by the pure beauty. Everyone else looks up and they notice what she's at a loss for words by.
That really is something.
Ivy walks over from the cooler with 6 White Claws in hand and starts passing them out.
Doesn't a sunset hit different up here?
It really does.
Hey, Lex, you think it's about time to break out Kira's birthday shroomy-doomies?
Lex comes over from the drug and booze table galore with a bong ready to go in one hand and a bag of shrooms in the other.
Completely agree. I think this would be the sublime time to take these. Kayla, would you like to do the honors?
Holds out a bag towards Kira. I thought you'd never ask. Kira grabs the bag, reaches her hand in and grabs a small handful. Passes the bag to the left to Ivy, who doesn't hesitate to hop on this train. I've never fully dosed before. Is this enough?
Well, an eighth is technically a full dose, which is about as much as you have in your hand. So I think you're golden.
Solid. Let the adventure commence. Kira begins to eat the shrooms. Everyone is passing around the bag to the next person after they grab a small handful. Malia is the only one who refuses the bag. While they are all busy passing around the bong, drinking their White Claws, and beginning to chew up their shrooms, which tastes kind of rancid, by the way, Elliot takes out of the bag the amount that they were told to microdose, but also sneaks in their pocket more to take later without anyone looking. The only person to notice this is Ivy, but while she likes an adventure and seeing people test their limits, she doesn't do anything to stop this or call them out. They all continue watching the sunset.
So, how long till we start to feel something?
They'll probably start to kick in about 30 minutes, give or take. Think about it like an edible. You gotta let that stomach digest that shit first. Sick!
Cut to exterior campsite. Night. The lights have all been turned on. Someone brought one of those colorful yard lights that displays little colored specks everywhere, which they had to put in an area they set up to dance in. Trippy music is playing. They all have begun dancing, are already tipsy and high from the weed. They're feeling the vibe of the music. Even Malia is up and moving around. The only one who is absent is Elliot. Camera spots Elliot in between 2 of the tents, taking the other half of the shrooms that they had hidden for themselves. No one sees this. Kira and Lex have begun feeling the effects of the shrooms. They are in their own world on the dance floor. All of a sudden, Levi doesn't feel too well. He walks away from the dance floor and leans up against a tree. Malia notices this. She grabs Kira out of her dancing trance.
Hey, Kira, I don't think Levi is feeling too hot.
Oh, crap. Thank you. Kira and Malia walk over to Levi. Hey, are you okay?
I don't feel so good. I think I'm gonna...
Before he can even get the words out, vomit is spewed out of Levi's mouth.
did you say about shrooms fucking with your stomach being a load of shit?
Shut up. And give me some space, bro.
Malia, I got this. Thanks for pointing him out to me. Appreciate you, girl. Kira is consoling Levi, and as Malia walks over to the dance floor group and notices Ivy is missing. She looks around and sees Ivy kneeling down to the tree past the drug and booze table. Malia walks over.
Ivy, are you okay?
Ivy quickly composes themselves.
Oh, yeah, I'm chill. Just a little upset stomach. No biggie, though. I'm used to hurling out a quickie, then getting back to the party action.
All right. If you say so.
Malia turns her back, hears Ivy throw up again, and walks back over to Kira and Levi.
Okay, Ivy, I think, is having the same issue as Levi, though they seem to be taking it better, to be honest.
Malia, for real? Does it look like I want to be insulted right now?
Levi hurls out another one. Malia gives Levi a teasing look.
You're right. You're handling this like a champ.
Malia, can you actually stay with him for a sec? I'm gonna go check on Ivy.
Please, no.
Don't give me that. Y'all will be fine. Just don't kill each other.
No promises.
Levi flips off Malia. He's too out of it and feeling like trash to verbally insult her. Kira walks over to a seemingly okay Ivy. So, I hear the shroomy doomies got your stomach all out of whack too, huh?
I mean, sure, but you know me. I always preserve for a good party. I always persevere for a good party.
Oh, believe me. I recall many a party where you've boked and returned a new gal. Done more than that, too. Ivy and Kira share an intimate gaze and smile.
So you want to take a walk? I think my gross sick phase has passed.
Why not? Let's go find somewhere to look up at the trees and the stars. Kira and Ivy walk off into the woods using their phones as flashlights. Camera on Lex, tripping, feeling great. They sat down to smoke some more weed and see Elliot panicking and curled up in a ball. Lex wanders over.
Hey, dude, you good?
Elliot doesn't respond. They're in their own world. You can see fear written all over their face.
Elliot, hello.
Elliot is rocking back and forth and murmuring to themselves.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
Lex looks around and sees only Malia and Levi near the tree, but no Ivy or Kira anywhere in sight. They go to find them. Cut to exterior forest, night. Kira and Lex are lying on the ground looking up at the stars, bodies side by side touching. Ivy has also started to feel the shrooms, at least the little bit that she didn't throw up. Ivy sits up and looks at Kira.
So are you having a good time?
It's been all right. I prefer if I could enjoy it fully and not have to worry about taking care of people all the time, but these shrooms are most definitely helping take the edge off.
I think I know what would make it a little better.
Oh, and what's that? Ivy leans in and kisses Kira. Yep, just like old times. Lex finally finds them.
Yo, Kira. Oops. Shit. My bad, guys.
Ivy and Kira sit up.
No worries. Wouldn't be the first time someone's walked in on us.
Kira blushes. Don't worry about it, Lex. What's up?
Yeah, so your younger sibling is kind of having a bad trip right now and needs you.
Fuck, for real? Wait, how? I thought that they were only microdosing.
Actually, I saw Elliot put some shrooms in their pocket earlier. I'm guessing they took them.
Ivy, seriously? Why didn't you say anything?
I didn't think it was a big deal. I figured they'd be chill.
Dude, no, they're dealing with a lot right now, but never mind. I gotta go help them. Kira heads back to camp. Ivy follows. Lex stays behind.
I'll meet you back there. I'm gonna chill and look at the stars.
Lex lies down.
Fuck, this is dope. I wish I brought the bong over. Never got to smoke it since Elliot interrupted me. Oh, wait!
Lex pulls out the blunt and the lighter and lights up.
Hell yeah.
Cut to exterior campsite, night. Kira and Ivy rush over to Elliot. Malia and Levi have moved over to Elliot as well, already trying to calm them down. Hey Elle, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. Kira is hugging and comforting Elliot, trying to bring them to. Malia, can you go grab a couple water bottles? Malia nods and goes over to grab them. Levi, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm chill now.
Okay, great. Can you grab a couple of blankets real fast?
Got you.
Levi runs to go get the blankets. Kira is still holding Elliot, trying her hardest to calm them down, while being cross-faded and tripping herself. She's used to having to sober up and compose herself enough to help people when they need it. Shh, Elliot, I'm right here. I got you. Lex comes rushing over, seemingly in a panic, but not about Elliot. Lex is out of breath and can't get the words out.
Lex, what's up? Where have you been?
Lex is hyperventilating, not a composure Lex is used to having. They don't know what to do.
Well, Lex, hello? Is everything okay?
Lex is fighting to find the words.
I was looking at the stars. I wanted to smoke, but only had my blunt on me.
What did you do?
Lex, tell me you didn't light up there after we walked back to camp.
Lex is at a loss for words. Levi looks up, sees a large cloud of smoke and a vague light in the distance.
Oh, fuck.
Lex, you didn't! What the hell?
Look, I'm sorry.
Kira walks over, Elliot still in sight, wrapped in blankets. What the hell is happening?
Lex made the wise decision of ignoring Ivy's advice of not lighting up a blunt out here and started a fire that's rapidly growing.
Fucking what? We gotta get out of here.
Lex, you're a fucking idiot, you know that?
Look, we honestly don't have time for that right now. We need to leave. Grab your essentials and let's get the fuck out of here. They all nod, scramble, and grab what's important. Lex tries to save the weed and drugs they brought, the essentials. The fire has inched closer and closer, too close for comfort. People have almost fully packed up everything they need. Fuck the rest. Kira puts Elliot in the car. They're somehow calm, must be too out of it and tripping. Kira tries to start the car. The battery won't turn on. Fuck. No, come on.
What's wrong?
The battery's dead.
What?
I don't know. The battery is dead. Kira suddenly remembers the trunk has been open the whole time and her lights automatically stay on when the doors open. I'm such an idiot. I never turn off the lights in here.
You're always prepared, though. Don't you have a jumper cable battery thing or something?
No, I don't. The fire has surrounded their campsite. There is no escaping this.
Are we in a dream, sis? Everything's warm.
Everyone looks at each other, despondent. No one knows what to say or what to do. Kira, eyes filled with tears, maintains a smile and calm complexion for her sibling. Yes, Elliot. We're in a dream.
Oh, I know. Just blow out your birthday candles and you can make the warm go away.
Okay, Elliot. But first, everyone needs to sing happy birthday. Everyone begins to somberly sing a slow happy birthday to Kira. Camera cuts from inside the car to the exterior passenger side of the vehicle. Everyone can be seen and heard. Camera pans to the back of the car, stops at the bumper sticker, I hope something good happens to you today, and stays on that frame as the fire engulfs the whole campsite and the car. Screen fades out. Fire crackling can be heard and the happy birthday song continues. Screen goes totally black. Happy birthday song ends after 5 seconds of black. The end.
What the fuck?
Wonderful piece. Wonderful. Damn.
Holy shit.
Thank you.
That's my worst nightmare.
I'm gonna take a moment of silence for Levi.
Levi
Okay.
Hedgehow?
Everybody died.
I thought they were gonna die of like dysentery or something from bad shrooms.
What is this, the Oregon Trail?
Honestly, I thought Lex was gonna put themselves on fire. So, but that didn't
Okay,
happen.
I thought Elliot was gonna die. Did
I mean, they all kind of died.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Taylor.
You're welcome.
No, I know, but
There are a lot of
was like,
directions that I could have
We
gone.
don't
Yeah.
pick favorites here.
exactly.
It was like
Yeah.
one of those games. What is those games where you have like choices you can make?
Choose your own adventure.
And
Yeah, kind of like those, but like the horror version, like you like
Oh.
play on PlayStation and stuff like that. Those kind of games where people die. It's like a thriller.
Oh yeah,
Run with
like
that.
Until Dawn.
Yes.
Fuck
we
yeah.
we fucked up and killed everyone.
Yeah, we
Yes.
lost. We
Yeah.
lost for
we,
sure.
lost, we lost hard. The worst one. We picked the worst one. Fuck. Really, really good, Kayla. Well
Yeah.
done.
Thank you.
That was
Really
awesome.
good twist too.
Yeah,
Oh,
good job for the
appreciate
first
that.
script. Damn.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Spectacular first script. Holy shit.
There
I can't believe that
was,
it debuted here too on the stream.
Right?
yeah.
James kind of guessed it in the chat.
Yeah.
He said, "If this ends with the Nero playing violin music while everything burns, I will be so happy."
That's such a good comment.
Yeah.
He also figured out what kind of car you had.
Yeah.
Well, I said it in the script at the beginning, yeah.
And then he was like, is that a plug-in hybrid or a full EV? And
Oh, no, it's not even a plug-in. It's just a regular Nero hybrid.
nice.
Yeah.
James is a big car guy,
Sure.
if you haven't found out by now.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wonderful, wonderful piece, Kayla.
Thank you.
I think I think we should wrap. I'm feeling a lot of things.
Yeah, deep, bro. Deep.
Let's go around and extroduce ourselves. And we haven't done it in a while, so let's go backwards. X. You
Hell
wanna start?
yeah.
I'm Xavier Pace, and who says that I've died?
Mm.
I'm Sophia Hasagawa, and I've been working at the DMV.
I'm Nick, and if you just sing happy birthday, it'll all go away.
I'm Kayla Marie Coates, and I killed everyone.
I am Amy Lynn Perea, and I have been telling gruesome stories to my children.
And together we have been the
Intoxicators.
Thank you so much, Kayla, for hanging out on stream tonight. It was a wonderful time having you as our guest.
Thank you for having me
Do you have anything
and allowing me to test this out.
Absolutely. Do you have anything you want to promote? Any projects you're working on, or just like a personal Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. I'll throw my Instagram in the chat. If anybody, I actually I'm a production coordinator for this super dope nonprofit independent filmmaking organization, and we put on tons of free events every single month, several times a month, and different giveaways and things like that. Everything that we do is free. We have tons of different career advancement initiative opportunities that we're constantly doing throughout the year. I'm personally a part of the Emerging Actors Initiative, and I'm leading that one. And again, everything's free. Go to blackmagiccollective.com. We are sponsored by Blackmagic Design, if you know that camera company, and they have different types of equipment and stuff like that. Super dope. Everything that we do is super rad. So I highly recommend tapping into that. I will also put that in the chat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's just yeah. Thank you.
Sick. And we'd love to have you again anytime you're willing to write your second script.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, you can check us out on our social medias, our Instagram, our Twitter, our YouTubes. There are links all down below. On the YouTube, you can see a recording of this video and all of our past streams for nearly the past year. We're almost caught up a full year to the video recordings, which is pretty cool. You can join our Discord down below too if you want to, suggest prompts, be a guest if you want to play video games with us, or just share stuff. James, did you share that video of the V6 engine blender in the Discord, or was that somewhere else that I saw it? Because that's something that you would share, and I appreciated seeing it. Whatever.
Also, should we tease what we have coming up, or are we waiting?
Oh yeah. We can throw that out there. Also, wait, before we do that, whose prompt was this? Was anybody's here's? Anybody here's?
It is I.
Xavier.
It is I.
Very nice. Excellent prompt.
Nice.
Next week's
Just-
prompt. Oh, sorry, what were you going for?
Oh, no, you good. I was just gonna say just stuff I think on the daily, you know.
All right. Well, talk to me after the stream. I want to make sure you're okay. Next week's prompt is. No, we don't do a show next week. Next week, we are abstaining from a show to have the day focused on the memory of 9/11. So we will not be having a show. Everybody, do what you can to, remember the lives lost and just live your life. Okay. Then we'll be back that following week, September 18th, with the prompt: write a script about a color of your choice, which I'm pretty excited for. Cool. And Amy Lynn, you brought it up. So do you want to tease what's coming up?
Little teaser for you guys. We're gonna be doing another film fest. But we're gonna be doing a horror film fest. So put your socks and shoes on and give us your best shot for horror stuff. So start thinking about ideas, and we will be releasing the
information.
The information, September 20 something.
Yes.
Soon. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a poster coming out this week with the details of the festival, but it will be starting on September 20th, just like our last one did, where we reveal the requirements. So yeah, Kayla, if you want to make a film for it, or I know you work with a lot of filmmakers, just
Yes.
yeah.
We definitely have somebody in our First Frame initiative, which is for new filmmakers who have done 1 to 3 short films, who claims herself as the queen of horror. So I will definitely let her know.
Great.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get the poster once it comes out, and you can pass it along.
Please do. Yeah.
Awesome. Other than that, y'all, that's our show.
Dope.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. You can catch us not next Saturday. Saturday the 18th. Have a wonderful week, everybody.
Bye, stream.
See ya.
Bye.